the early prelims were headlined by Tim Elliott versus Jordan Espinosa. This fight was boring as hell. You enjoyed this fight a lot.
Yeah, I did, man. Tim Elliott is freaking vicious, dude. Vicious, man. I don't know how you thought it was boring, because there was some.
I think you just got really into the fact that he was smudging his blood into Espinosa.
That was in the third. But what I found fascinating was there were two high kicks by Espinosa, I believe, and Elliott dodged both of those and took him down as a result.
I think I called this. Yeah.
The ground control that Elliott demonstrated was just insane, dude.
It's a 15-minute fight.
It's not.
He had 13 minutes and 19 seconds of control.
So yeah, you say this is boring, but like we've talked about, I love watching grappling, man. Like, and this was dominance on a whole different level, because this was
way too one-sided to be entertaining for me. That's kind of my point.
Well, what I liked seeing was something unconventional. I hadn't seen a lot of this being done before, and I didn't actually know this was a thing until we talked about it. But I liked seeing Tim actually rubbing his forearm into Espinosa's face and blocking his breathing. Just sort of, it looked like he was just making things as horrible as humanly possible for Espinosa, knowing that he couldn't get off of him. Would it have been cool to see some submission attempts? Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet, but seeing that I thought was kind of interesting, because I hadn't seen anything like that before. I didn't even know you could do that. And then we get into that third round, and dude, the guy's a savage. I remember him getting out. We were looking at him going like, who's this crackhead? You know what I mean? And I had taken him as my pick, and watching him act like a crackhead in the third round was incredible, because he got cut by Espinosa and then was like, you know what? I think what I should do now is blind him with my blood. So he starts intentionally grinding his face on Espinosa, and you could see the camera cuts to just a flood of blood entering Espinosa's eyeballs. And come on, man. How do you not find that entertaining? That was ridiculous.
This is COVID era. You can't be doing things like that.
They're all tested, man. Come on. It's all good. I'd be more concerned about
that. I forgot where I heard this. Was it on? It was on I don't know where I heard this, but it was during the press conference. They were asking, a reporter asked Dana this. Apparently someone had, like, on Facebook had messaged Tim Elliott or something saying that Jordan Espinosa had beat his wife or something.
Well, I heard about this as well.
Yeah, and then I think Tim Elliott was like, well, I think like maybe that's why he was like rubbing his blood in his eye. I don't know. And they asked Dana about that. They're like, are you going to look into this? And Dana's like, it's the first time hearing of it. And I don't know if it is, but that was kind of interesting to hear. I hadn't heard anything about that up to that, but that could maybe explain a little bit of the viciousness that Tim was displaying.
It's possible, man. I mean, because I can imagine if that was the case, then maybe he's got something in his past that threw up some red flags for him. He starts seeing red in his eye. Either way, I didn't.
Red in his eye, put red in his eye.
Yeah, I mean, either way though, I don't think the scoring was accurate, because this one was another doozy, man. 30-25.
Yeah, it's funny because you go from 30-27, 30-27. So you have two judges that say 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. You have one judge that went 10-8, 10-8, 10-9. I think you could definitely throw in the 10-8 in there.
Yeah,
2 10-8s, I don't know about that. No 10-8s, I also don't know about that. I think 30-26 was more accurate for this fight. But again, it just shows, like, sometimes you're like, they're sitting next to each other, or I don't know where these guys are. But you wonder, it's like, how are you guys watching the same thing? Because they're sometimes so far off. You have like a 29-28, and then you have a 30-27 for the complete opposite for the guy that got 28. Someone else says he was 30. It's very bizarre. Didn't happen on this card, but it's happened on a couple that we've seen. It's just weird. So
I mean, these guys just as weird as anything else, though. I mean, like, I did not see a 30-25 there, and I mean, even a 30-26 is like you beat the guy to a pulp. So what does a 30-25 mean? Like, you consumed his essence. Like, he's no longer what? Like, he's just a husk.
You bleed in his eye. You bleed in his eye intentionally. You get 2 10-8s.
Yeah, I don't know about these judges are strange, dude, but I don't see a 30-25 there. 30-26, like you said, I think is valid. So